it's like the curiosity heals, and you were talking about curiosity with complexity. Okay. But just using the word curiosity for me, and when I changed cohorts for somatic experiencing, and I think that the use of the word curiosity in SE and somatic experiencing, it was a big hook for me because I'm like, this is speaking to me, and because it's something I think about. What do you want to say? Say it.
Okay, before we go on with it, just when you're talking about curiosity, I got to tell you, this person hates the term curiosity, hates it. This person says curious like it's the worst word. And this person says that curious has some nefarious what's the roots of words? Etymology? Is that correct?
Yeah.
The etymology of curiosity. Like if I use the word curious, like you're using me as a subject, like a guinea pig. Etymology
Wow.
of curiosity. So when you're saying it, man, I can't just sit here and, well, this is weird. This person said that it has some nefarious meanings.
Well, I mean, perhaps it does.
No, it doesn't.
What's the meaning that it wouldn't matter if it did though to me.
Yeah,
Because what's the meaning of what's the intent of me using the word or us using it in SC? There's no nefarious intent.
Well, but
and if you're
listen to
not
this.
and if you're not coming, you got to come back to intent though, because that's what
a
majority of our co-regulation is about intent.
I agree.
It's sussing each other out. I'm tracking you. Your intent is not to hurt me. Your intent is not to defame me or to lessen me or to attack me or to use me as a guinea pig. Your intent is to try to open up my aperture so that I can actually take in some stuff and start to see more and maybe process a bit. That's the intent.
Yeah, but I would argue that that's my intent, but your experience of that is not the same as my intent, then I need to attune to that and go, oh, I'm intending something very different and you're upset by it. And again, that's the noticing, recognizing and respecting my nervous system state and yours.
Right.
But here it says, here's the very first, the etymology of curiosity, meaning Latin, care, concern, or healing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? That's not nefarious at all.
What an asshole you are, John, to use that word.
Anyway,
so
go back to your curiosity. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Okay, so but for me, it's like that's what I feel like. That's one of the greatest prompts that we use in somatic experiencing, using it appropriately to get people who have had to diminish, to get people who do exaggerate, right? Or not. I mean, people who are just, they have a thing that they've suffered, and they're trying to heal through it, and to get them to be curious, enter into a curious state is a gift. If you can get them to be curious about even something simple like their breath, if you can get them to
or
be
their
curious,
interoception, what's going on inside? What are my sensations?
Well, that's it. Because a lot of what happens with diminishment and exaggeration is actually not noticing what's happening inside, is overriding, block it out. It doesn't matter because it's a form of saying I don't matter, right? And so when we're saying I'm curious, what do you notice inside? What are the felt senses of this idea or this emotion or this event or whatever it is we're working with? How does that feel inside of yourself? And when we're there to co-regulate with them, in a bit of a guiding role.
Container, providing a container so they don't get too far.
Yeah, so they don't go into overwhelm. It's something that, it's one of the safest ways to explore things that we have like locked ourselves out of or shut the door so tightly and like thrown away the key. Let's open up a little crack there. What does that feel like? I'm curious because the curiosity is really the vehicle. I see it. And when I'll tell you what, one person who used that word where it hit me just with his voice was Berns Galloway. Well, he's like, I'm curious. And I'm like, the way watching him work with people in the demos, I was like, it hit me. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the right place because you asked me to come up to join that cohort after my first year. And I knew that you and I would have fun hanging out, and I would probably like your friends that we were gonna stay with, and I would maybe bond with them. I was excited about that, but I wasn't so sure how it would go. And I remember Burns's first demo. I was like, I think I'm in the right place. This feels really good to me." And, I'll use the L word. I really loved Burns in his role. I thought he was fantastic. Not everybody jived with him. I have a pretty thick skin. He gave me a hard time in front of the entire group a couple times, and for me, it, like, tickled me, you know what I mean? With me, he cracked me. He kinda, 'cause as you know, I would flip shit right back at him, right? Like, the first time at the end of the first, weekend, I said, "Hey, Burns, I don't care what John says about you, you're okay, man." He was like, he did a double take, because he'd already given me some crap as the new guy, and the way the lilt in his voice, well, he's like, "Yeah, I'm curious
Yeah,
about that,"
yeah, and
you
he's
know?
authentic with that.
Yeah,
What I appreciated about Burns, well, there were a couple things when I first met him. Uh, One time I was talking, well, multiple times I was, fighty, and I would talk
in
to
that
him, I don't
first
like,
yeah,
well, no, multiple, like, there's probably consistently, probably 10 different incidents where I was feeling fighty and shame was coming on. I think because the fight has caused me so many connection ruptures, disconnections, in very important places. So I think the shame comes on, "Oh, I suck, I'm bad, I shouldn't be fighty." And every time I would come to him, either in a formal session or in a consult or just in passing, I would share something, and he would always say, "Well, that sounds like an appropriate response." He very much de-shamed my fight. Yeah. And Burns
and
is
it
such a
was in
gentle man, right? Like, he's
right,
such a
right.
gentle, and I remember one time he was expressing something in class. It was early on, it was first year in Sydney, and I think Heather was sitting next to me. I think it was Heather to my right, and Burns was saying, so he was being a little snarky, and,
Burns, snarky?
I looked over to Heather and I
Yeah,
said, "Burns is
yeah.
my spirit animal." And if anybody knows Burns, like, he and I are about as opposite in
You'd be like the odd couple,
yeah,
right?
we'd be very opposite, um,
Yeah.
on many respects, but I found just his respect of the fight state was very, very important for me.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Right on. Alright, so, I don't wanna, like, end the Burns show.
no, 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 let's get back,
Because we both
you brought
love
him up.
Burns. Yeah, I know, I know. So, it was the way that he said it, it really hooked me in.
Yeah,
And I was already hooked into SE. Like, I was like, okay, I had already that first year being online, even through that format, the video format, I was amazed with how effective it could be.